Son.
Okay. Shalom, shalom. Where the Hebrew Israelites said to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, to speak about the upliftment of Yahweh Shai, the only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. So first and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodesh.
All right. Now, you see the prophecy is moving based upon what the what I did a video on this morning with the famine of the word. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna go through that real quick. Yeah, let's get Amos 8:11. Salaki. Let's switch gears. Amos 8:11.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 8, and verse 11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord.
Right. So there's going to be a famine of hearing the words of the Lord. In other words, you're not going to get this understanding that we're giving you right now. All right? To break down the prophecies, to understand what you Israelites need to do. Because this is only for the Israelites anyway. This is not for any other nation. Okay, it's only for the Israelites, our people. All right? But if you don't get it now, later on you're not going to be able to find it. Keep going.
And they shall wander from sea to sea,
Yeah.
and from the north even to the east.
Yeah.
They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it.
Right, they're going to be looking for it all over the place, and they're not going to be able to find it. See, because they're going to take us off the internet. All right, this is going to become illegal, right? Because that's what the UN was speaking about, making these type of speeches illegal. Anything against the government, that's going to be considered a possible terrorist threat. Okay, this is where they're going with it. Okay, a little bit more. Yeah.
In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst.
Good. Okay, read it again.
All right, verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord,
right,
and shall not find it.
Right.
In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst.
Right, because they're not going to have that living water. Get me John 7:37, and get me what he said to the woman at the well. All right, because this word is likened unto living water. This is the only thing that can give you eternal life, huh? Okay, you Israelites that can understand it. All right, this is why we're able to bring out the precepts. This is why we have such understanding. It's not because of our own intelligence and studying for hours and hours, although that happens, but it's not about that. It's about the Holy Spirit opening it up to us. Because there's many people that study for many hours and can never get this treasure. Right. Go ahead, bring that up.
This is the book of John, chapter 7, and verse 37. In the last day, that great day of the feast, Yahweh Shai stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
And that's what's flowing out of our bellies, the rivers of living water. Okay? Meaning what? It's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay?
John 7 and verse John 4 and verse 7. There cometh the woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahushua said unto her, give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat.
Right?
Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, asketh drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans.
Right. Well, we'll get to the point.
Verse 10, Yahushua answered and said unto her, if thou knowest the gift of the Most High, and whom it is that said to thee, give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked him, and would have given him, and he would have given thee living water.
Right. So in other words, he said he was asking for physical water. He said, listen, if you could get living water from me, all right, which is this word, this understanding, because it's constantly moving, it's constantly flowing. You know how much different understandings there are in one scripture that have three different meanings. This is constant movement. Go ahead.
The woman said unto him, sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle? Yahushua answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But For whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst.
Right, because when you drink, right, and you get thirsty again, you're looking for something else to drink.
Yeah.
Right? But we're not looking for nothing. We found the truth. We're not looking for anything else. Give me that. The election have obtained it. Okay? We're not looking anymore. Read that again, that last part.
For whosoever drinketh
These
of
people are full of different philosophies and mindsets, and it's all confusion. It's all mixed together. There's a lot of contradictory things. All right? Because it's not the truth. All right? Go ahead.
And Yahushua answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst.
Right, so once you find this, you don't leave it. You stick with it, okay? And you just build upon it, man. All right? Go ahead.
But the water that I shall give shall be in him a well of water, springing up into everlasting life.
That's it, okay? Go ahead.
This is Romans 11 and verse 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which is seeketh for it, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Right, Israel has not obtained it. Right, read it again, brother.
This is Romans 11 and verse 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for it, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Right, so once we obtained it, we didn't let it go. Well, go to the Wisdom of Solomon, 3rd chapter. What you got, bro?
John 10 and 7. Then said Yahushua unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them.
Break it down, bro.
So again, Yahushua is that way. This is the truth, and when you found it, the true elect, they're not hearkening unto any other philosophy.
Right.
It says, those that followed the Lamb whithersoever they went, they were not defiled by other women.
Yep.
Meaning they did not hearken unto the other doctrine of the world.
That's it. That's exactly it. All right. So it's metaphoric. You know, you can't read this book like everything is literal. No, there's metaphoric things within it, but there's also literal things. Okay. Like Babylon is literally, which is America, is literally going to be destroyed by fire, which is nuclear fire. And that's one of them. Okay. What, bro?
This is the book of Song of Solomon 3 and 1. By night on my bed I sought him, whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not.
That's speaking about the Most High and His truth. Okay, go ahead.
I will rise now and go about the city in the streets, and in the broad ways I will seek him, whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not.
Right.
The watchmen that go about the city found me.
Also, you have to find the watchmen. So who are these guys coming up acting like they're the guys? And they didn't learn from nobody. The watchmen, you have to find the watchmen. That's the first step of getting the truth. Go ahead.
The watchmen that go about the city found me,
Yeah.
to whom I said, Saw ye him whom my soul loveth? It was but a little that I passed from them, but I found him whom my soul loveth.
Right.
I
So
held
he found the truth. And what?
I held him,
Right. He held the truth
and I will not let him go.
and would not let it go. All right? Meaning he'll never let it. Once he got the truth, he never let the truth go. This is what happens. This is what it means by once you get that living water, you don't need to get any other water. You don't need to thirst anymore. You got the water. You got the understanding. See, Jake, our people, there's all different philosophies. They believe in this and that. This doesn't match with this. This matches with that. It's all confusion because it's not the living water.
That's right.
Go ahead.
It says, until I brought him into my mother's house and into the chamber of her that conceived me.
Yeah. That's it. Boy, bro, bring that up.
Matthew 13 and verse 45. Again, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it.
That's it. That's the truth. Okay? Put everything, put all our eggs in one basket. We put all our eggs in this basket, man. And Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shine is full truth. Because this is the only thing that's going to deliver in that time.
That's right.
See, these people don't get it because the Lord didn't give them the spirit to believe it. You see? Go ahead. And they're actually jealous at the belief that we have. Because they don't have the faith in anything fully like that. And wait till Esau really starts rolling on these people, man. They're not going to, I don't care if you're a Buddhist, you're a Christian. They're going to do whatever to get, some of them so-called Christians and Muslims, they're going to be seeking the witches, man. Go ahead, man.
That was
Go ahead, bro.
Proverbs 8 and 35. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All that hate me love death.
Got more on that? Was it on that? Huh? Okay, I get that.
Okay, this is Proverbs 5 and verse 15. Drink waters out of thine own cistern.
Right. So that's why when we got that water, we stay with that water. But like we keep saying, this water is not always going to be here, man. Right now it's in the street. It's flowing right now in the street. But once he removes his prophets, that's when he removes the water, man. Okay? It's going to be like a dry place. You know? Go ahead.
And running waters out of thine own well. Let the fountains be dispersed abroad. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the stream.
Okay, what you got?
Pertaining to how you said it's going to be a dry place.
Okay, go ahead.
Proverbs 29 and 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Yeah.
But he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
Well, beautiful. Yeah, the people perish of thirst. All right, they perish of thirst. Go ahead.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5 and 13. Therefore, the prudent shall keep silence in that time,
Now the prudent represents the prophets. Go ahead.
for it is an evil time.
Right, so we're going to keep silent in the evil time, which is getting ready to come. Okay, when they lock down these cities on a high, because the next lockdown is going to be a lot worse than these last ones that happened in 2021. Okay, so when things start to get real, and then they start to make it illegal to speak out against them, which that's what they're working on now. Okay, I just did that video this morning. So once that happens, we're not going to be out here, right? And once he removes his prophets, that's when the Lord is really going to let loose on this place, man. Okay, all out hell is going to break loose in this earth, man. Go ahead, man. What else you got? Go ahead.
This is Proverbs 22 and verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
Right, so we're hiding ourselves right now in the strong tower, which is the name of Yahweh, secret place of the Most High. What you got, bro? Read that.
Isaiah 32 and verse 2. And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind,
Yes, sir.
and a covert from the tempest,
Right.
as rivers of water in a dry place.
This is why they're going to be seeking for us, man. And that's why the women are going to be thirsty in that day. They'll be looking for that water, boy. They're going to want the breakdown in that day. They don't need the breakdown, man. All right? They don't need the breakdown. Just, you know, look at that Bible, like that Mubado coming to the Bible. All right? You don't need the breakdown, man. Go ahead, read that again.
And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind,
Yeah.
and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land.
That's what we're going to be in the earth. Okay? Because all these people are going to be lost. All these people are going to be confused, not going to know what to do. I don't care. Even them preppers, even them guys that make those videos, the redacted and these different guys, they're not going to know what the hell to do. Because they're making the videos, but their thing is there's no hope, because there's no hope for them. Okay? Ain't no hope for you. There's hope for us. Yeah, what's up, bro? All right? You might be one of us. You might be one of us. All right? Go ahead.
Isaiah 33 and verse 6.
One of us, man. Go ahead.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time.
Right, wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of thy time. All right? Which is what? The wisdom and knowledge is that living water. That's what's going to keep us stable. Okay? Well, these people are going to be going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, man. All right? They'll be bugging out, man. All right? Go ahead.
And strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure.
And I'm telling you, literally, bro, there's going to be one person running, people running this way, that way, like a mad person, man. At certain times, man. Don't try to break into stores. Okay? Break into people's houses. This is the time that's coming, man. Like the elder Malcolm was saying, he said, yeah, you got preppers that's prepping with food, but then you got other preppers prepping with ways to break down the doors, ways to different weapons. Those are the preppers that's coming for you preppers. Okay? While you prepping, you got all this food, they got what it takes to take the food from you. All right? So this is coming, man. And we're not going to be a part of none of that. We're just going to be moving, and the Lord's going to help us out, man. He's going to secure his men. All right? And we're going to be laughing at you people too, man. Don't think we're going to, oh my God. No, we're going to laugh at you people, man. With crumbs on our face, man. Okay? Eating a sandwich. Go ahead, bro.
This is Job 5 and verse 19.
Facts, man.
And he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee.
Right. In 7 shall no evil touch us, man. Okay? And you could call on Allah, Buddha, all these different guys, and they ain't gonna help you, man. Right. There's one power in the earth. One power. You got a name too. Right. One power, though.
That's right.
And keep believing in yourself. Oh, believe in yourself. Okay, let's see it. If you can deliver yourself to that thing, man. Yeah, I'm losers, man. Go ahead, man.
In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword.
Right.
Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue.
Yep.
Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh.
Right.
At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh.
We're going to be laughing at destruction and famine, man.
That's right.
What does that mean? That means we're going to be good. Okay? When this place crashes, when it's about to crash, all right, we're going to be good. Okay? And everyone's going to be trying to find us to figure out what's going on. All right? And we're not going to be answering no questions, man. You're going to get a busy tone, man. Any of them family members try to, the only ones I'm dealing with is, the immediate, man. Father, mother. Outside of that, man.
Jump in.
A cousin I was trying to break down the truth for 5 years. No. You can't get this understanding, man. Go figure it out, man.
Jump in.
Oh, you want to jump in? Go ahead, bring it out.
Isaiah 3, Ezekiel 3 and 26. I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, and thou shalt be dumb, and shalt not be able, and shall not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house.
That's it. I'm going to tell you go watch the videos, man. Look, the internet's down. Well, that's not my problem. Okay? Go talk to a hacker and see if you can pull it back up. All right? Because we don't have time to be. The warning is now. You don't just seek the Lord after when everything is happening. No, you seek the Lord beforehand. It's just like if a woman, right? You got a woman, right?
Yeah, you gotta start.
Yeah, she want to get with you before she didn't want to deal with you, right? Right? You were broke. You're like, I don't mess with him, right? Then you become a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, right? Now all of a sudden she's in your DMs. Are you gonna take that chick serious, man? You gonna take her serious for real? And you might pop her. Yeah. That's That's a fact. Go ahead.
Matthew 25 and 8. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out.
Yeah.
But the wise answered, saying, not so,
Right.
lest there be not enough for us and you.
Well, why weren't you gathering the oil before? You know you had to go out, right? Why weren't you gathering the oil? Go ahead.
But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves.
Right.
Yeah, go to oil. The scripture says, buy the truth, sell it not. Okay, but they didn't do that in the time. They wanted to do it when it was too late. See? The seeking the Lord. Yeah. Woo. Let's get it. Get it, man. So we're coming to that time, man, and I can't wait, man. All right?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, and verse 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near.
Right. But call upon him while he is near, man. He's near now because we're still out. Right. So anyone can come and listen and take notes and learn and be built up in the spirit. But people don't want that's boring to these people.
Sirach 5 and 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
That's it. You're right. You're security. And you think it's all good because even now they said that what was it? March what was it? No, May 11th, I think. They said that they were going to officially call off the pandemic, right? Well, we know something else is coming. When they shall say peace, bring it out. Bro.
This is 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
Right.
As travail upon a woman with child,
right.
And they shall not escape.
Something a lot worse is getting ready to pop off, man. Like he even mentioned that devil, right? The top villain, right? He said a cyber attack would be a lot more bullshit. What they say? They say the COVID-19 crisis will be in comparison as a small disturbance, all right, to a cyber attack. That's what he said. Okay? And what were they talking about at that meeting? They were talking about cyber attack. Listen, this devil's just telling you what he's doing. Yeah. They're just going to the meetings, letting you know, but most of these people are not watching. They're watching CNN, CBS, you know, getting fluff news, man. Go ahead, bro.
This is 2nd Esdras 14 and verse 16, and it reads, "For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter."
Right. Greater evils is still ready to come, man. All right? These are the birth pains that we're seeing, man. What you got?
Matthew 24, verse 22 to 24. "And except those days shall be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened."
The days are going to be shortened for the elect's sake. But guess what? If you're playing games of procrastinating up until the point of the hell coming, then you're most likely not of the elect. Go ahead.
"Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe him not. For there shall arise many false Christs and many false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and so much that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect."
Right. Go ahead. And you brothers can also read it in the NIV and things like that. So it's easier.
It's
you know?
easier.
Go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 9.
You know, sometimes those things be great.
Yep.
Come out great. But anyways, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, to continue up on his precept, I have 2 Timothy 2:10. "Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Amashiach Yahushua with eternal glory."
Okay, read that.
This is 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 7. "And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his work and by faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the sad peril, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders."
Yeah, so these guys are not doing no work, man. It says by his faith and by his work. Right? They're hearing the truth, but they refuse to work. Right? Oh, when the night cometh, no man can work. You don't have to get it. Go ahead.
"For I have sanctified them for myself from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which have not abused my ways, and they that have cast away them despitefully shall dwell in torment."
Right, so those that didn't want to listen to the words of Yahweh, they're going to be in torment. You don't want to be amongst that crowd, okay? Because they're going to be cast. These people on the earth are going to be going through hell. Trust me. Go ahead. Things that they never imagined. Go ahead.
"For such as in their life receive benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law while they yet had liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them."
Like I said, now the place of repentance is open now for the Israelites. Okay, go ahead.
"Understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain."
Oh, the same, right? So the Lord is coming with death by pain. He ain't coming to play with these people, man. These people think it's a game until something happens to them. You know what? Antiochus, that devil, that Edomite, pasty, pale devil, Antiochus of the Greeks, who put a lot of hell on our people. You know what the Lord did to him? He made him rot inside out, man. And then he was crying. First he thought he was a mighty warrior. Okay? And it got so bad he was stinking, rotten from the inside out. His own men didn't want to be around him, man. Okay? So the Lord gave him a dishonorable death because he thought he was invincible. And all you people are about to get a dishonorable death that are not of the elect, man. Okay? Go ahead, man.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, and verse 12. "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
Right, Esau, Edom is getting ready to come down with great wrath. Okay, who's the devil? That's speaking about the so-called white man. It's a cliche, ain't it? Right? But this is what it's actually speaking about, right? When you read about the beast and the 7 heads, that's this present NATO and EU system. Okay? Which is headed by what? Edomite nations. You know? The EU has what? Who's in the EU? All so-called all Edomite nations. Right? NATO. It started off with all Edomite nations. Now they like added Japan in there for some reason. Just I guess to say, no, see, we're not racist. It's a joke. Okay, that's NATO and the EU, man. Okay, and it's really dealing with the original of it. Okay, the original members. Okay, well, that's it on that. They give me a offender of a word. Matter of fact, you can get. Matter of fact, whole Revelations 13 and 11, brother. Okay, now we're not reading it right now. What you got something? Yeah. Go ahead, bring it out.
This is Ezekiel 21 and verse 9.
Listen, the Lord is dealing with nations. The Lord separated the nations, right? He has a nation that he loves, the Israelites, which is us. Okay, and then he has a nation that he hates above all nations, which is the Edomites, who are in rulership, all right now. And then he got the heathen where he don't really give a damn about it. Okay? Go ahead, man.
This is Ezekiel 21 and verse 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, see, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. So we then make mirth. It condemneth the rod of my son as every tree. And he hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slave.
And who's the slayer? The Edomite. Okay, that's the slave. He's getting ready to unleash holy hell on the earth, man. They don't have robot dogs and robot army men for no reason, man. Okay, and these different weaponry, they're about to use all of that. They're about to play with that, man. Okay? The UN, they created that, and what they're going to use them for is to bring those foreign troops in to these different first world countries, man. Because the foreign troops don't give a shit about it. Okay? And they're used to living a hard life. All right? So when they come here and there's no electricity and things like that, they don't have to deal with that. That's light to them. Okay? Like the brother, or you said like in Haiti, sometimes you don't even have electricity, right? So this is what's coming to these first world countries, man.
That's right.
When they come to really lock things down, man. And anyone that opposes it, guess what? You're going to be brought to a camp and you might be put to death. Because a lot of people are going to be put to death. Okay? What you got, bro? Bring that out.
This is Isaiah 29 and verse 20. For the terrible one is brought to naught.
The terrible one is these Edomites that rule the earth right now, man. Go ahead.
And the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off.
Right.
That make a man an offender for a word.
Oh, that make a man an offender for a word. What are they doing right now? They're coming up against free speech. All right? So they're making you an offender for certain words. Right. That's why when we speak in the YouTube channel, we got to always cover up our speech. We got to say things in code. Right. You can't even say the marker that we got to say the MOTB. But the ones that watch us understand. Okay? Go ahead, man.
For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word,
yep,
and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate,
right,
and turn aside the just for a thing of naught.
Right. He hated him that rebuketh in the gate. Give me that. Right? They set a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. And we're the ones that reprove in the gate. We're the ones cursing out the society. We're the ones coming up against these Edomites, this government. All right? So spiritually, that is. Okay? And telling them their downfall, according to the scriptures. Oh, and another thing that they said they want to come up against sedition. Want to attack sedition.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what's that about? That could be anything. Well, you go to Acts. Go to Acts. Because it spoke about Paul, and that's what they described Paul as.
Right, yeah.
Let me find it. Go ahead, bro.
This is Isaiah 32 and verse 7. The instruments also of the sure are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right.
Right. So even though we're speaking the right thing, he's coming to destroy us, man. He's coming to set up traps and snares for us, man. All right? You got something to jump in? You got it already? Yep. Okay, bring it up,
Acts 24:5. For we have found this man a pestilent fellow.
This is speaking about Paul now. Go ahead.
A mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes.
We're talking about like he's a gang member. Okay? But was he actually promoting sedition? Was he promoting sedition? Was Paul promoting sedition? No, he wasn't promoting sedition. Well, he wrote Romans the 13th chapter. That would be contradictory. Right? So these are the type of lies and demonizations that Esau's getting ready to come with. Right, I was just thinking about that. Try to get that real quick. Oh, what you got? That's it. Okay, you got something? Revelation. Revelation. We're going to get to that in a second. Okay. Read that. Read that.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, and verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashayat. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night.
Right, the accuser, which is these Edomites, man. Which, when you go into that word accuser, we always say it's categoreo, okay, which means it goes into categorize. That's what Esau does. He categorizes people, right? So now when you speak about things that are against what they're saying, they call you a seed theorist. And when these people hear that, it's like a buzzword to attack their hormones and their emotions to make them think something negative automatically. And they were doing that going way back to the 80s and even with that the Lucifer 2000 documentary with Anthony J. Hilden, okay? The guy was saying the same thing. He said, "Oh, you're speaking the seed theorist talks, which that's the same thing that those neo-Nazis say." Right? So he's trying to tie their talking points, which they were in the government to a higher level. They know what they're talking about. They're amongst those societies. Okay? So he said, nah, well, you see, that's the same talking points as the neo-Nazis. That's how they categorize you. All right? They'll set certain people up to say certain things that align with what you said, but they have nothing to do with you. Right? And they'll try to put you together with them.
What? This is the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
Right. You get Psalm 64. Jump in. Revelation 13. You want to jump in? Go ahead.
Proverbs 17, verse 10. A reproof entered more into a wise man than 100 strife into a fool. 11. An evil man seeketh only rebellion, but therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him.
All right, well, Esau's going to be judged. Esau's going to be, because the Lord is hardening his heart. Okay? You got something?
Yes. Psalm 10 and 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
Yep.
His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Well, that's why these people are dropping dead from the Jews right now. Right? That's all in secret. There's one guy who coughed up a whole clock that was the shape of his bronchitis. Bronchitis tube or whatever. Okay? Which looks like a tree. Looks like a tree branch. Alright? He coughed that up before he died. You see? So clearly this goes back to the Jews. Alright? But we don't know when Esau might try to activate that around May when he starts to say, oh, it's over. He might activate it right then, around that time. Okay? Just gonna have to wait and see. Wow. You know? Then all of a sudden everyone's what you got, bro? Revelation. Come on. That was it on that. Right? Go ahead.
Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and it had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Yeah, so break that down. Break that down. Break that down.
So it's basically that talks about speaking as a dragon. That goes into his laws and philosophies. He comes as a lamb because he seems to be how can I say that? Meek, yeah, meek, humble, or he comes as a peaceable. But through his philosophy, he comes as a dragon because he's like a draconian. It's draconian. It's harsh, you know. And even to the point where people are gonna be put to death if they don't follow the way that they establish.
Right. And Karab, what does the two horns represent?
The two horns is those Republican and that other one, the Republican and Democrat.
Okay. Well, what do you mean by that? It represents that. Everywhere doesn't have that.
That's what it does represent.
No,
That's what, because they speak smooth with their tongue.
Yeah.
And then they have two parties. They have the Republican and then they have the Democrat.
Okay.
But them two are the same. Them two are the same.
Right. But okay, hold on. But what about the other countries? They don't have the Republican convention. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They don't
But
have
those are the like if you're talking about the EU, the UN and stuff, those are part of the 10 horns, right? That's European Union, right?
What I'm asking, you guys understand what I'm asking? Say it again? Yeah, right? What am I looking for? Because I said there ain't no democratic republic name in these other countries. Right? What you got?
There's two sides.
There's two sides, right? Yeah.
They're not just they have different names.
There we
There's
go.
two sides to everything.
That's what I wanted to get. That's what I was looking for. They have different names. Okay? Because we have to know how to break these things down, right? Okay, they have different names. All right. So you got the Republican and Democrat here in America, but here you have the liberal and conservative. But it's the same ideology for both of these things, and it's on the same piece. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 12, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Go into that.
Yeah, that goes into the system, you know, because today this is Babylon. This is the newly revised Roman kingdom, you know. So the Roman kingdom fell, and this is just a revised Roman kingdom.
Right. And the thing is this, ultimately they're creating a system that replicates the Roman system. Because the Roman system, those people were heavily taxed. They were taxing them for everything. And I went into it. Bro, that was a very oppressive system of that time. You see, compared to the dark nations that was ruling before, they weren't as oppressive as these devils when they came into power. Okay? That's why everyone was constantly rebelling against the Roman Empire. All right? Because it was ridiculous. I mean, they had a tax for the land, they had a tax for this, they had a tax for things coming in, tax for things going out. It's just like now. You're extremely overtaxed in this place, man. When you really calculate it, you're paying like 60% taxes, man. You're not just getting taxed out of your check. You gotta pay. You gotta pay income tax, depending on what you make, and then on top of that, you got to on top of it, you got to pay tax for everything else.
Especially in Quebec, right?
Yeah, and then you got to pay insurance. You got to pay all this extra wicked shit that really shouldn't be in law. But because of the lobbyist system, because this system is corrupt as hell. First of all, these smaller nations, they learn their corruption from America and these EU countries, man. They teach them the corruption. That's where they learn it from. But then they'll look at, oh, that's a corrupt. No. They learn that from you. You brought that to them, man.
That's right.
Because what they do is they buy out governments. They buy them out and they force them to take loans. It's that documentary of the economic hitman. They go there, they say, you got to take this. And if they don't take it, they just disappear, man. All right? See, but the devil don't want to hear that. The devil wants to believe a lie. All right? It's called coercion. Yeah. Coercion. Right. Go ahead.
So Psalms 96 and 20, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law.
That's right. And that's what they do. They frame mischief by a law. They write it into law, and that makes it right in their sight. That justifies them. Like when they took the land, they wrote it in law that guess what? As long if a white guy ain't there, does his free land. That's mischief. That's not right according to the scriptures. The scriptures tell you not to remove your neighbor's landmark. Okay? So that's wickedness in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. Go ahead.
This is the book of Luke chapter 2 and verse 1.
Yep.
And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed.
Right. So, see, the taxing system really came about with them Greeks, and it really came about heavily with them Romans, man. Okay? It really came up heavily. Really, the Greeks wasn't so deep with it. It was really the Romans that came heavy with it. Okay, go ahead. That's it. What you got?
This is the wisdom of Solomon.
And like I said, they were taxing everything. Just like today, you got to tax a land tax, a this tax, a car. You got to tax on when you buy something, such and such. Tax out of your check before you get it. Go ahead.
I mean, that's why the book of Habakkuk 2 says he enlarges his desire as hell, man. He's greedy. He wants everything. He wants to heap everything to himself.
Yep. Go ahead.
We're going to bring up precept.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was going to...
This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man.
Right, the most arrogant nation is the Edomites. Right, they're known as the most proud. They're even boasting themselves against the Most High. Go ahead, man.
Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
That's why you have a UN. That was created by the Edomite, the elites. Okay, starting with the NATO and EU countries. That's nothing but a branch of NATO and the EU. Go ahead.
Shall not all these take up a proverb against him, and a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Right.
How long?
Meaning what? Everything he got, he stole. Even now, all he's doing is sucking the natural resources out of these other countries, these smaller countries. Go ahead, man. So
I mean, to show you how Esau's greedy, he even goes as far as to opening graves. Like the documentary you put on certain pharaohs, he goes and opens graves and takes their treasure, man. Showing how greedy this devil is.
Right. It's really, he has no, they say they hold nothing. The white man holds nothing sacred. That's what the Native Americans say. They say he holds nothing. He'll do anything, in other words, okay? As long as it's for profit, oh man, he'll definitely do anything. Which is a low life, okay? That's a low life. That's no one to be trusted, okay?
What's that saying? If Rothschild was a prophet, money was these.
Oh yeah.
I forgot how it goes, but
if he was like a god or something like that, money would be his prophet. Yep, something like that. Yeah, go ahead.
The scripture also says the eyes stand out with fatness.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, because they're constantly looking. They're never satisfied. They're always looking for more and more and more. To the point they destroy the earth and the people and everyone in it. Okay? Go ahead. This is he's kind of urgent with it. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus 14 and verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?
Right.
He shall not take pleasure in his good.
Right. And how are they evil to themselves? Well, the pollution, right? The fact that they're willing to dump chemicals into the water, all right? Just to get a profit, when they have to end up drinking that same water, shows this man, he's an idiot. He's literally just an idiot. Okay, he's not to be trusted, man. Go ahead, man.
There is none worse than he that envieth himself.
Them Edomites always envy other Edomites. All right, them Russians envy them Americans. Okay, them other EU countries envy the Americans and whatever. All right, so they're envying themselves. And the scriptures say that a house divided cannot stand. Go ahead.
And this is the recompense of his wickedness.
Yes, sir? Oh, yeah, good. Sir.
This is Psalm 73 and 7.
Yeah, hold on. A little bit more?
Sorry, go ahead. Verse 10. Verse 9. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked drives up the soul.
Right. That's why when they came in to take a land, they didn't just take off and take a piece. No, they took the whole thing. I reserved this for you. And to them, they think that's like a righteous, oh, that's righteous. We reserve the, see, that's why when we get Edomites in captivity, we're going to have fun, man. We're going to have fun with the repayment, man. The Lord, he prescribed a repayment, a recompense, man. Go ahead.
Verse 10, a wicked eye envieth his bread, and he is a niggard at the table.
Right, because they're the true niggards, man.
Yeah.
All right? When you look into it, man. Go ahead.
This is Psalm 73 and 7. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish.
You got something though? Oh yeah, go ahead, bring that out.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, 2 and verse 11. It says, "Let earth's strength be the law of justice,
Yeah.
for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth."
Right, that's it. Because their whole thing is because they have the power to do it, they're gonna do it. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? That's Esau's whole MO, right? They have the power to take these children to an island and do what they want and not get persecuted. So they're just gonna do it because they're wicked. All right? They're not thinking about, oh, is it right? Is it wrong? They don't. That's not how Esau thinks. Esau doesn't think about right and wrong. Okay? They even have a particular saying, oh, there's nothing right, there's nothing wrong. It's just perception or something magic.
Yeah.
That's Satanism right there. Go ahead.
So like, real quick, because it says children are their oppressors, and as Esau Edom is a child and without wisdom, he does the things that he doesn't regard the consequences. So whatever he does,
good point.
whatever he does, he just looks at how it can benefit him,
Yes.
and he doesn't look at what he can do to the rest.
Right, right. Because kids like what? Instant gratification. Children like the guy, I want a candy bar.
Yeah, that's what I think about.
They don't care about what, they're going to have a toothache and they're going to eat five. They don't care. You know? Or the video game, they don't care what a we're not going to have money for dinner. I don't care, I want to play the video. Well, you want a video game, man. All right, you want that. You don't give a damn about eating. You'll fast. Go ahead, man.
This is Micah 2 and verse 1. "Woe to them that devise iniquity and that work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands."
It's in the power of their hands, man. That's why they're able to do that iniquity and they get away with it and they don't stop because they don't care. They don't, Esau doesn't. He's not a guy, a moral man. He's not moral. It's not a moral race of people. They're just like brute beasts. Brute beasts are not moral. Beasts will just do what they got to do. They don't.
Base man.
Yeah, like a beast. They're not moral. They don't have anything. You know, a beast. If a lion, or he doesn't care if he kills a hyena cub or that cub was innocent. The lion doesn't care. He sees an enemy. He sees a rival. He's gonna kill it. Go ahead, man.
But back to Habakkuk 2 and verse 6. "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay."
Thick clay is debt. This is a debt-based system, man. All right, even that proves that it's the Roman Empire revised because they did the same thing in the Roman Empire. They devalued the monetary system by putting in the inferior metals into the money. Show this devil is all type of greedy, man. He's so greedy he'll just destroy. He doesn't care what he destroys. Right? Like we were saying before. Go ahead. And what happened with that? The inflation. Go ahead.
"Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee."
So ultimately they're going to shoot those nuclear missiles on them and destroy them. That's the end of America, okay, which is Babylon the Great, okay? That's what it means by they shall spoil thee. Because starting with Russia, matter of fact, let's go to Ezekiel 38. Go to Ezekiel 38, bro. All right? Starting with Russia, they're going to come up against America, which we already prophesied. Listen, the apostles have been speaking about that for 30 years, man. Okay? I've been speaking about that for years and brothers before me, okay? So this is, and now we see it coming to fruition. Like basically, Russia said, what was it, the Secretary of Defense? I can't remember if it's the Secretary of Defense, but he said, listen, the West is already at war with Russia right now, based upon that Ukraine thing, because they gave them tanks. That was like another step right there, because that was always a proxy war, but now they took it to another step. And then what happened after that? Israel, the state of Israel, attacked Iraq. Okay? So we're there, man. Go ahead.
Because of man's blood and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein.
That's it.
Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness
Yep.
to his house, that he may set his nest on high,
Right.
that he may be delivered from the power of evil.
What does that mean? That means you steal something from someone else, right? Let's say if you got a car, right? I don't have a car. Say I take your car, which I would never do that. But let's say I would take your car, and now I could get to work. I can have fun in your car, while you don't got a car. So I set myself on high by coveting what you have. Go ahead.
Thou hast consulted shame to thy house,
Right.
by cutting off many people.
Right.
Thou hast sinned against thy soul.
Right. Let's get Ezekiel 38. Get Ezekiel 38 and start at the third verse. Start at the third verse.
This is Ezekiel 38 and verse 3. And say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O God, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal.
Now Gog is what? Gog is where there's Gog and Magog. That was where, right about where Russia is today, but a little bit under. That represents Russia. Okay? This never happened with God. God never came up and destroyed Babylon. Okay? This is a future prophecy. Go ahead.
Verse 4, it says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks to thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army.
What does that mean? That means he's going to put them back in that old USSR spirit. Right? Because Russia used to be aggressive back in the day, like in the 80s, 70s. Russia used to be more aggressive, but they kind of calmed down. But now they're getting aggressive again. So the Lord put those hooks in their jaw to bring them back into that spirit. Go ahead.
And all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
Right.
Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them,
Yeah.
all of them with shield and helmets.
These are all allies of Russia. Okay, Ethiopia, Persia, which is Iran, which is where Israel just attacked recently.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's their allies. Okay, so they're going to come up against Babylon the Great as well. Go ahead.
It says, Gomer and all his heads, the house of Togarmah,
Yeah.
Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company
Right.
that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto
So
them.
what does Russia do for those nations? He guards them. He protects them. From what? From the West. From America and NATO and the EU. That's what they do. Go ahead.
It says, after many days thou shalt be visited.
Yeah.
In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword,
Yeah.
and is gathered out of many people against the mountain of Israel.
That's speaking about America. Okay? Say the land that's brought back from the sword, meaning that's why it's known as the virgin daughter of Babylon. Give me that. Okay? Give me that. All right? Because it has not been touched by war yet. See, all these different places around the earth, they've been they've been pretty much touched by war to some extent. Okay? Go ahead. I'm talking about outside war. Go ahead.
It says, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely all of them. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee.
Right. From gathering for World War III. Go ahead.
Thus said the Lord power, it shall also come to pass that at that time, that at the same time shall things come into thy mind,
Yep.
and thou shalt think an evil thought.
What's that evil thought? To press that button.
That's right.
Okay, and what's going to happen with that button? Those nuclear missiles are going to come out, right? All right, and go to America. Get me up. Got something to deal with that? Okay, go ahead.
This is Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
Yep.
Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb.
Meaning they're not going to care if there's babies. They're not going to care about the families that are there. They're just going to shoot those missiles. And they're not going to be able to bribe them or pay them off either. Because the Lord is going to put a spirit in them to do it.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency,
Babylon, which is America. Go ahead.
shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right.
It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
Right. You see? So it's never going to be dwelt in again by man. All right? So once it's destroyed, it's going to be turned into a desert after the smoke clears. It's never going to be dwelt in again.
That's right.
What you got? Oh, that's it.
Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there.
Right. Go ahead. What you got?
Isaiah 54 and verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth.
You got a question, bro? You got it? Huh? Oh, okay. Go ahead. I was asking if you had a question. I was asking if you had a question.
I have no question.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay.
listening.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
On Isaiah 54 and verse 16.
Yeah.
Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire,
Yeah.
and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
Yeah.
And I have created the waster to destroy.
Right, so that's the nuclear missile. Okay, that was what the Smith created in this day and age. Give me Isaiah 9 and 5. All right, that's what's going to waste the whole land. Okay, and make it desolate, meaning destroy it completely. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood.
Yeah.
But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Right, so this is going to be a different type of battle. Right, this one is going to be with fire, with fuel of fire. That's the nuclear missile. All right, you got a precept? Bring it out.
2 Peter 3 verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief of the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Yeah.
The earth also.
Yeah, it's going to melt with fervent heat. The elements. What's going to burn all these elements up? The nuclear fire. Because when you get an actual fire, the building still stays up. It gets burnt, but it stays up. This is going to melt the whole building down to the ground. Go ahead.
The earth also that are.
Well, read that again.
But the day of the Lord will come as a thief of the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
That's what's going to melt the elements, the nuclear fire. Go ahead.
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
Yep. The works shall be burnt up. Yep, go ahead.
Burned up. Okay, I have another precept.
Okay, go ahead.
Looking for the hasting into the coming of the day of the Lord, wherein the heaven on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Yep, that's it. And that starts speaking about the nuclear missiles. It ain't speaking about anything else but nuclear fire. All right? Go ahead.
Jeremiah 50 and 13. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow.
Right, all you that have nuclear missiles, man. Go ahead.
Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord.
So all of those nuclear missiles are going to be used. Okay? In World War III. Right?
Verse 24, I have laid a snare for thee.
Ooh, and the ones that's in America, that's going to be used as fuel for the fire. Because when those missiles hit, it's going to ignite those missiles. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 22, a sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. O, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. The Lord had opened his armory and had brought forth the weapon of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord, the power of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans.
Right, and we just read about the weapons of his indignation, which is the nuclear missile. Okay, that's the Lord's weapon. He's going to use that to destroy Babylon. Okay. Go ahead. And Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 29, call together the archers against Babylon.
Well, that's anti-Sem. Go ahead.
All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about.
Yeah.
Let none therefore escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she had done, do unto her. For she had been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel.
Yeah. All right. This is 2 Ezra 16 and verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot unto the ends of the world. Right. They begin to be shot to the ends of the world, man. All right. How are you going to shoot an arrow from one end of the earth to the other? It's not speaking about an actual arrow, right? It's speaking about nuclear missiles.
That's right.
Okay? It's parabolic talk, man. See? And if you don't have the eye solve, you can't understand it, man. All right? Let's the Lord open your eyes. Go ahead. That was it. Okay.
Joel 2 and 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble, as strong people set in battle array.
Right? That's how the nuclear missiles are going to come, man. Right? They're going to come as an army. All right? In order, in a formation of, in a perfect formation, getting ready to hit their targets, man.
That's right.
Okay, hold on. Read what you got.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and 1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon,
right,
and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about.
That's it, all right? So the nuclear missile is going to bring Babylon to nothing. There's nothing going to be there. The line of confusion. In other words, the line of confusion, right? The scripture that says that you're not going to know where New York begins or any state ends.
That's
Okay?
right.
Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifted himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets.
This is Isaiah 13, and verse 3. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude and the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. That's it.
Psalm 38, verse 37, verse 8. Psalm 137, verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou served us. How thou hast served us.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy, the next verse. Happy shall he be that taketh and dash thy little ones against the stone.
Yeah, that's going to be us, man. Okay? When we get that reward, man, we're going to dash your little ones against the stones, man. Okay? Because according to Esau's bibliography, what did he do with the Israelites, man? You know, Christopher Columbus, was he not sharpening his sword with Israelite babies? You know? Cutting mothers, with their pregnant mothers, you know, cutting their stomach, man? That's right. So we're going to do the same thing, man. Dash the little ones against the stones, man. That's your reward, man. But double. All right? Jake doesn't want that. Jake wants to love the devil. Yeah.
And also because it says daughter of Babylon. So you know it's not talking about, the ancient Babylon. It's speaking of the daughter of Babylon, which is America. Okay?
Who's speaking, bro?
Okay, this is Joel chapter 3 verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Yeah, also, one of the reasons that World War III is going to happen is what? For the Lord to plead for us, man. Because these nations, they have partaken in our downfall, man. In lack of better words, man. They're the ones that have us in captivity. You know? Jeremiah 50 speaks about how they refuse to let them go. So that's one of the main reasons why World War III is going to happen, man. And when it says the valley of Jehoshaphat, that's the valley of judgment, man. Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment. All right, that's where the troops are going to go and be gathered up for that World War III, man. All right?
Verse 3, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Yea, what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
Those Ishmaelites over there, you know? Because they all had a part in having Israelites in slavery.
Well, Tyre and Zidon speak about the Hamites. I think one of them is Ishmael. Tyre and Zidon is where the Hamites be at. Tyre and Zidon is where the Hamites be.
Verse 6, the
Palestine. Palestine is where Ishmael. Palestine, not Tyre and Zidon. No, but even ancient Palestine, that word is really Philistine. But that's where the Ishmaelites be at now. All the Salaki. Okay, yeah. Palestine. The Palestine is part of the Arabs.
Verse 6, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their borders.
Yeah, they had part into, selling us in captivity, man. These are the nations, man. They're the ones that, they partook in that, man. You think the Lord's not going to come and reward them, man? Scriptures say, he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye, man. So you touch us, that means you touch the Lord's eye right there, man. And the Lord's going to come back and give vengeance, man.
Verse 7, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them.
Yeah, and right now we're being risen up, man. Lord, behold, man. Once before we didn't know who we were, man. But the Lord has sent His Spirit, and now we're being raised up, man. Right? These other nations, they didn't think this will happen. That's why I said they didn't suffer us to be put in graves. They didn't tell us who we were, man. But now, via the Holy Spirit, we come back to our nationality, man.
That's right.
Real quick, just because you mentioned that, woken up. This is Job 36 and verse 15. He delivereth the poor in his affliction, and openeth their ears in oppression.
Yeah, and we are in oppression right now, man. Till this day, we're in our captivity. So the Lord is opening our eyes, meaning our third eye, really, and we're coming back to the understanding of the scriptures, man. Because that's our true heritage.
It says also, in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. So that's what's going on.
Going back to Joel 3 and verse 7, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them. I will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters to the hand of the children of Judah.
Yeah, that's the recompense, man. We're going to sell your sons and your daughters, man. Just like you did unto us, man. The slave trade. The same thing we're going to do with your other nations, man. Send gifts amongst each other, amongst the brethren, man. All right?
It says, and that's justice. That's justice. The Lord delighted in judgment. So like you said, as you have done unto us, the same will be done unto you, but double.
And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, had spoken it.
Yeah, the Lord has spoken it, man. And that's the Lord's justice. Which I have a precept right here. This is 2 Thessalonians 1 and verse 6. See, it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. All right, it's righteous with the Lord, man. It's a righteous thing for according to the Bible. put these other nations into slavery, man. Mainly starting with Esau, Edom, because he has done the most unto our nation, man. He's the head leader, man. All right? Which these other nations, they follow right after.
Psalms 89 and 14, justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. So basically that's what the Lord delights in. He delights in justice and he delights in judgment. And that's exactly what is waiting for Esau, Edom and the other nations that partook in the downfall of Israel. You know? That profited from us being the lowest, who profited from keeping us in the lowest state.
The dogs that lick their wounds.
This is Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7. Be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked.
That's right.
For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Point blank period, man. And Esau has sown mischief, all right? Transgressing the laws, man. Hey, you're going to have a recompense for that, man.
That's right.
All right? The Lord said, you know, all these things that God has done, you think I was like you, right? You think I was like you, I'm not going to speak? Yo, we're in the time that the Lord is speaking, man. And how is he doing that? Through his men. Okay? We're the ones that's declaring your way unto you, Esau. And then the Lord's going to come back, all right, and destroy your kingdom, man. And at the end of the day, what? You're going to captivity, man.
That's right.
Yeah, you're not going to Funland. No.
Disneyland.
Revelation 18 verse 6. Reward her as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And then the cups that she had filled, fill unto her double.
Yeah, double, man. And double is times 2. All right? And probably a little bit more too. All right? Because you have been, it says your sin has reached unto heaven, man. All right? You have a whole lot to answer for, man. The tab is, it's ridiculous, man. So it's going to be double for sure.
Well, scriptures tell you that his sins is full of the sins of his youth. He's filled with the sins of his youth.
Trust me, double is enough. Yeah, trust me. What Esau did, double is enough. Okay? Just like the brother said, his bones are filled with the sins of his youth. You know? The Lord, he winks at our wickedness. But Esau, man, the Lord's not winking at all, man. All right? The Lord's eyes are fixed. And Amos 8 and verse around 9, it says, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom. Well, he winks at the wickedness of the elect. He doesn't wink at all Israel's wickedness, because really what he did was, certain things he winks at. Because what he did was he chastised Israel quickly.
Yeah.
So he didn't wink, he chastised us quickly, correct us. But Esau is allowing him to do what he do, up until the point he completely destroys him. Anyways, but yeah, exactly.
That's just ultimately because he hates Esau. He who, if you don't partake in the chastisement, you're a bastard.
Yeah,
that's exactly what Esau is.
Right.
And, that's ultimately because the Lord wants to punish him.
Right.
Revelation 18 verse 7. How she glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and I'm no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
Babylon is going to see sorrow, bro. Best believe it, man. Like the brother said earlier, no major war really happened in America like that. Like an outside country came and invaded them, man. And these times, man, all these other nations that have nuclear capability, man, they're going to press that button, and those missiles are going to land upon the soils of America, man.
That's right. Ezekiel 25 and 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, said the Lord.
Yeah, man. They're going to see it. They're going to see that the Lord was never with them and what they were doing.
Right.
They're going to witness it, right? Yeah, exactly, man. Like the brother just said, Hey, the Lord's going to use us to execute that judgment, man. What do you think we're going to do when we get those new bodies, man?
That's right.
Hey, Psalms 149 says we're going to gather up their kings, their nobles, to put them in chains of iron, man. So we're going to have to test those new bodies, man. All right? It sound like you're gonna be tired, but she was going with the fire, you know.
Take the robots.
Right. Does it hurt? Yeah, how many times you can separate the Edomites? No? Yeah, because hey, it says the Lord is going to do it according to the Lord's anger, man. So right now, man, hey, we're not angry enough.
That's right.
To bring punishment upon Esau like that, man. But in that time, hey, the Lord's going to put everything back to our remembrance, man. You know, things that Esau did to us, you know, in the time of slavery. Before that, man, we're going to remember everything, man.
That's right.
And then that's how, Esau, man, no mercy to them that showed no mercy, man.
It says the Lord is angry with the wicked every day.
That's right.
You know, it's not one day that the Lord, sometimes you might go through a day. Actually, not every day you think about Esau, but the Lord every day is angry with himself. You know? We have distractions. No, the Lord, like the verse says, his eyes are fixed on this devil.
Yeah, memory.
So the angel got to hear the report of the angels constantly.
Knows their thoughts.
Yeah.
He has a thought just for Esau.
Right. And it says a foolish thought is a sin. You know? Right.
Ezekiel 25:12. Thus said the Lord power, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and had greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus said the Lord power, I will stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it.
Right, because Esau, it says, vengeance is of the Most High. I will revenge, I will repay. This devil put things upon his own head, thus trying to make himself as God, man. And why did he ultimately try to put revenge upon Israel? All going back to the blessing, which he's the one that ultimately messed up. You know? You should have fasted. You should have been patient, man.
No, but you know what? It wasn't his anyway.
Exactly.
Because it was already, like Isaac might have forgot what happened in the beginning, of the birth. Because the birth, the prophet already said, listen, he's going to be served him. So if he would have gave him that blessing to Esau, it would be confusion. Because remember, he said that I made him thy Lord. My brother can get it. He said I made him thy Lord. What does that mean? That means that he would have made Esau our Lord. It wouldn't make no sense. Back up your point. Furthermore, in Romans 9, it speaks about how the children not being yet born, the purpose was ordained in the heavens. So the Lord already had selection, who was going to be the vessel for honor and who was going to be the vessel for dishonor. Which the vessel of honor is what? Jacob, and the dishonor is Esau, man. It's just all according to the story, man. The Lord likes a drama, all right? He wanted it to be like that, Jacob supplanted and, got the blessing. That's how the Lord wanted, man. But at the end of the day, it was already purposed in the heavens, man.
Just to add some sauce.
With Jake.
Boy, bro.
This is Genesis 27, and I'm going to start at verse 33. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, Who? Where is he that had taken venison and brought it me? I have eaten all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry.
That's
good. Verse 34, and when Esau heard the words of his father, and he cried, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is he not rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times.
And that was part of the story. Right. The Lord had him named Jacob. Right? So he said, okay, this is what's going to happen in the story. This is not more than a movie. It's like you go to the director. The director says, okay, this guy's going to end up taking over. And at the end of the day, he's going to win. the guy that's playing the acting part, he can't say, oh, no, why does he get to win now? I was doing good for so long. It doesn't work out. It was already written from the beginning. All right?
I wasn't able to describe.
Yeah.
It says, Salakia. And he said, is he not rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright. And behold, now hath he taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
Yeah. So that's it. And that was always meant for Jacob. It was always meant for Jacob to supplant Esau, man. Okay? And ultimately, Esau is going to be wasted away physically too, right? Because the Lord's going to completely destroy Esau. Okay? So that in itself, when you think about it, is like an omen too. All right? Slaki, anybody have a precept?
There was a bit more on that.
A bit more?
Yep. Well, you can get also Romans 9 chapter.
It says, back to Ezekiel 25 and 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will also stretch my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it.
Edom is, the so-called white man. Good.
And I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Dan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, said the Lord power.
So they're ultimately going to know that vengeance comes over the Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. The way the Lord is going to destroy this devil is going to be of a higher power. Okay? That's all the recompense because of his sins. Because the nation of Israel received double as well. So, Isaiah 40, it says we received double. Okay? For going against Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So this devil is going to receive double. This devil is going to receive double as well, man. Okay, for being proud against Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and afflicting the nation of Israel.
And like the brother said, we're going to test those bodies, you know. As it says that we're going to do it according to the Lord's anger, you know, and He's doing it by His people. And it also says that Israel is the Lord's battle axe. Okay, so when we're coming back with those new bodies, we're going to put hell upon these people. Right?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 16 and verse 17. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land. They have filled mine inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things.
Right. That's it. All right. And brother have any precept?
I got one. Did you ask for the Romans 9?
Yep.
This is Romans 9. I'm going to start at verse 9. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And thou, and not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even our father Isaac. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth.
Yeah, so it had nothing to even do with him getting the birthright, ultimately, because the Lord had to set it up that way, because that's, you know, he was set up, Jacob was set up to get the blessing. You know, go ahead.
It says, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? The Most High forbid. It says, for he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom
I will have
And guess
compassion.
what? The Lord found pleasure in having Esau cry like that. Alright? He found pleasure. He was looking at you, looking at you. That's right. Alright? Because why? Because he didn't like it. When you don't like somebody, you don't mind, right? Esau fall like, if you see Edomite looking at him, he's looking all proud and he falls, slips and busts his head. And the ambulance have to come. We're not gonna mourn. Let's have a moment of silence for Esau. No, we go in the head, in our head, we're gonna rejoice.
Right.
Next.
Okay?
Go ahead. I'm going to jump to verse 19. It says, Thou wilt say then unto me, Why doth he yet find fault?
Just like Salakia, just like when Esau gets judged for all the wickedness he did in the earth, we're going to rejoice and the Most High is going to rejoice. He's going to be happy, that he's getting his judgment. All this wicked, the Lord allowed Esau to destroy the whole planet and, destroy his people, enslave his people, all these different things, okay? But his judgment, when he has it, when he gets it, is going to be sweet to the elect.
That's right. That's right.
And it's going to be sweet to the Most High.
Sirach 25 and 7. There be 9 things which I judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th will I utter with my tongue. A man that had the joy of his
I
children,
was thinking about that too.
and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies.
That's right.
The Lord has pleasure in seeing Esau cry, because that in a sense was a fraud.
I mean, that too, it's just like, when you go watch a movie and there's been a villain, there's been a tyrant throughout the whole movie, and as soon as the hero comes and takes the villain out, the whole movie theater is rejoicing, man. Because, hey, that's the same thing that's going to happen when Esau Edom goes down, man. It says the whole earth is going to rejoice in Isaiah.
Yeah.
Just to add on, the elect is going to witness that. Just a precept. Job 34, beginning at verse 25. Therefore he knoweth their works, and he overthroweth them in the night, so that they are destroyed. He striketh them as wicked men in the open sight of others.
Right. Everyone's gonna see it, and that's why they're gonna say is this the man?
Yeah.
All right. Matter of fact, get me that. Okay. And it said it's the man, so it's not a spiritual demon Satan. It's an actual nation or race of people. Okay, which are the Edomites, man, who are in control of the earth right now. You see, once they're taken down, the earth is gonna rejoice. Okay. Go ahead, man.
This is Isaiah 14 and 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
Yeah, they might spit on him. Yeah, bro, they're gonna look at Esau like the worst thing going, man. All right? Every second they're gonna be looking to beat Edomite up, man. So Esau's gonna have to stay in his pit. I don't see Esau leaving him. But you know how Esau had the sundown towers for Jake? Well, there's gonna be a 24-hour tower for that nigga. All right, you ain't gonna be able to go nowhere, man. You better stay in the pit, man. Jump in. Go ahead.
This is Nahum 3.
Right?
This is Nahum 3 in verse, I'm going to start at verse 5. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. Like it says, Esau's going to be put as a gazing stock, man. Everybody's going to pass by, look at him. Oh, is this the man? Like the brothers might spit on him, ridicule him.
And the Ishmaelites are good with the rocks. So Ishmael might go, wow. Ishmael's good with the rocks, boy. All right? This brother ain't going to be treated Ishmael no type of nice. He's going to be treated Ishmael very, very mean. Right.
Verse 19. Jump down to verse 19, Nahum 3 and 19. There is no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap their hands over thee. For upon whom hath not thy wickedness passed continued?
Right. It's this wine, man. He's spilling this wine all over the world, man. Right? Spilling wine all over the place, man. Every place you go, wine is spilling. Right? Moab. Ishmael, wine spilling everywhere, man. Twerking. Oh, no. Okay, that's not wine, man. Talking about I don't want to cook and clean. You do clean today. Okay? Yeah, that's the wine he's spreading around the world, man. Confusion.
Go ahead, real quick. This is Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Back to Isaiah 14 and verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened out the house of his prisoners?
Yeah, destroy the earth. That's what he did. He destroyed the world, man. Okay, this devil, when he came into power, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. It says, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as a raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. That's right.
This is Job 18 and verse 14. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. It shall dwell in his tabernacle because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation.
That's right. Yeah, brimstone. Yeah, because it's going to be made waste. Go ahead.
His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street.
That's it. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. He's going to be a nobody. No one's going to reference this guy. Right? They're going to look at the Edomites as the worst thing the worst thing to be. You know? See? You got last part?
Says it shall dwell in his tabernacle because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off.
He's not gonna leave. The Lord's not gonna leave any remnants of these Edomites, man. He says he's gonna cut off the son and the nephew. So ultimately, there's not gonna be any seeds, of these Edomites. Let's look to the book Obadiah, the 10th verse.
His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness, and chased out of the world.
Right, because he has the light currency. That's why it's called Lucifer. Right. But the Lord's gonna remove that candle off these Edomites, man. Right. Remove these the wisdom from them, and the Lord is ultimately doing that right now. Man. It says he's removing the wife. Is there any wisdom in demon? Speaking of these Germans, okay.
Jump to verse 5. Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out.
Right. Ultimately,
130.
Satan's gonna receive that order to stop responding to these devils, man. Stop that.
Let's see that word.
And so he's gonna be confounded, man. Okay. So he's not gonna get any answers from his witches and warlocks. You know. Right?
Verse 18, he shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwelling.
Be chased out of the world, man. But instead, he's going to go in this cave. He's going back to the Job 33 chapter. Okay, and even worse.
You don't have to stay close wherever the plantation. You have to stay close to the plant. We don't got time for you climbing down mountains. We don't got time for that. You stay right next to where the plantation is. There's a nice pit from there, you know? The bottom pits. Yeah, that's right. So, and like I told you, bro, you can rest on the Sabbath, but before the Sabbath, I'm gonna have some scorpions and some snakes, some tarantulas I'm gonna shoot in there. Have a heathen shoot it in there.
That's right, okay? That's right.
Moab, and tell them don't eat it. If you eat it, brother, if you eat it, Moab, you know what's gonna happen. No, son, don't eat that. Don't eat that. See the rest of it. Deal with Moab, man. Okay? Go ahead, man.
Verse 20, they that come after him shall be a stone at his day, and they that went before like you, they that come after him shall be a stone at his day,
Yeah.
as they that were that. So like you, that's a hard problem.
As they that what? Where is it? Okay, he has stoned at his day, as they that went before were affrighted. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not the Most High.
That's right. There are going to be a days that is there. The final judgment is going to come upon these Edomites. Okay?
This is Obadiah 1 and verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph. Oh, Salakia. Obadiah 1 and verse 10.
Yeah.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee.
Right, so the Lord is letting you know why shame is going to come upon you. The Lord is letting you know why the judgment is coming upon you. Okay.
So shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Yeah, you're going to be cut off forever.
Forever.
The Lord's going to get rid of these Edomites, man. There's not going to be no more so-called white men dwelling upon earth, man. What is his profit on earth, man? It was actually programmed to bring forth wickedness. So in the kingdom, in the righteous kingdom, what is the purpose of having a wicked man? There's no purpose to it.
That's why after 1,000 years, we're going to do away with him, man. After he served out his sentence for what he has done against the Lord's people, which is the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're going to do away with them, man. That's it. That's it. No, and that's poetic justice too, man. But Esau's been destroying nations for so long. Right? Now the Lord's coming to destroy him. Go ahead. And there's some irony to it too, because hey, did he not want to exterminate us as a people, man? Yeah, that's what I said. Back to down to verse 18.
Well, that's what poetic justice is basically. It's irony.
Go ahead. Jump to verse 18. It says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it.
Right, right. Yeah, the two kingdoms, the house of Jacob, the house of Israel, and the house of Judah are going to be joined together. Which ultimately, that's what the devil was trying to enforce, man. Put that discord amongst the virgin. Guess what? You can't stop prophecy, man. Okay? Both kingdoms are going to be united in destroying you, man. Okay?
Verse 19, it says, and they of the south shall possess Mount Esau, and they of the plain of the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Elam.
We're going to have a lot of land too, man. Because the apostle even said earlier this morning, he said that even Saudi Arabia is really part of our land. Okay? That's that whole thing. Over the Indian Sea to the utmost sea. Yeah, that's all part of our land too. We're get all of it. All right? Go ahead.
Job 20 and 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment?
Yeah, his time is coming up to an end now, man. You know, he triumphed for a time, and now he's coming down, man. All right? Esau's not looked at it the same way as he used to. Now he's complaining because everyone's talking against him, his wickedness. It's all right. It's okay to be white. He's crying. The veins popping in his fucking head. Yo, calm down, man. All right? All this hate this devil in show. Now he's the big guy. It's amazing, man. It's amazing, man. And if you were watching this as a movie, the people would be mad at this guy. How dare this mother effer? That's what they would be saying. Okay, because he's the true villain of the earth. All right, go ahead, man.
Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung. They which see him shall say, Where is he? Where is he? And he shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yet he shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
That's what's getting ready to happen, because they're having all these secret councils, or that weird thyself in a multitude of councils, to try to establish himself
as a you know a complete with complete control in the planet Earth forever. That's what they're trying to do, and it's not going to work. Okay, get me Psalm 64, brother. There's a little bit more. Go ahead.
The eyes also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him.
That's it. Go ahead, bro.
This is Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries.
Because that's what these top level Edomites do. They do a lot of sorcery and witchcraft. They have, like the Rothschilds, they had their own personal witch coven. Okay, which I believe Anthony J. Hilda was part of it, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so they have that because what, they're constantly pushing forth witchcraft. That's why every facet of this society is, you know, occultism is based in. Even when you deal with these logos and things like that, they're all tied to idol worship, man. Like Nike, that's the god of victory. You got the Toyota side. I was just looking at it on my way here. That looks like Saturn, man. Right? You see what I'm saying? So all these things are tied to different gods. You know, the owl, right? Or Gucci, when you break down that in the Latin, it's an owl. Right? Balenciaga, the king, Baal is king. You know, so these that's what this society is all based on, because this is what these top level Edomites are into, right? Occultism. Oh, even the medical. Well, I can't want to say that too loud. Okay. Yeah. Even this whole so-called HEALTH system is based on occultism. That's why they have the serpent with the flipping rod in the middle. All right, that goes back to Hermes, man. And also it goes into it's a Sardusis. That's witchcraft. And then they have the other one, which I think is Farmer Pre that has it. They got the bull. They have the bull, and they have the thing. What is that for? That's the Christian, the witches crushing up different potions, man. Different ingredients to potions, man. Okay. So that's what this society is all about, man. Read that again, bro.
All right. This is Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thine enchantments.
It's all about enchantments, man. Go ahead.
And with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth.
Yeah, since the beginning of America, it's been based upon witchcraft, right? Go ahead. Well, Washington, D.C. Look at how it's built. When you look at it from an aerial view, there's all kind of symbolism. As a matter of fact, where the White House is, that's straight up, it's first of all, the street is like a pyramid, and then there's a cutoff, and then right in the middle is where the White House is, which is just like the all-seeing eye. Okay, on the top. Go ahead.
I believe that it's not the UN place. It's one of those big agencies. It looks like the head of a circle.
Yeah.
Well, even one of those rooms in the Vatican.
Yeah.
The surface of a serpent.
No, the Vatican is one. Yep. Well, which that's what Vatican means, I believe. It goes into serpent. Huh? Wow. Goes into something to do with a serpent. But anyways, but at the end of the day, and also there's a shape of an owl over Washington D.C. as well. Okay. But Salaki, what I was going to say also is the obelisk is supposed to be aligned with the stars, a particular star that gets energy from the god of war in Egyptian culture. What is Washington D.C.? That's one of the city-states, right? That deals with war.
This is Nahum 3 and verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored hearted, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredom and families through her witchcrafts.
That's it. Okay, that's America. Okay, that's Babylon the Great. Okay.
Reading on, Isaiah 47:12, the latter part, it says, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
That's it. Right? Your witches are not going to save you, man. They're not going to save you. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
Right, it says that when he's about to fill his belly, Lord shall he shall be in straits. Okay, what does that mean? That means a position of difficulty.
That's
right?
right,
The
that's
elites are not going to be. They're not going to be. They're not going to have it all figured out. Okay, they think they got it now, but they're not going to have it in that time. Okay, they're going to be scared to the high heavens. You can say. All right.
This place is compared to, which is spiritually Egypt. Back in the time of Egypt, their witchcraft wasn't working. Yep. It says wisdom. I think it's Wisdom of Solomon says they're easily to be laughed at.
Yep. Those that were supposed to drive away fear. They were scared themselves.
They were scared themselves. and torment, laughed at.
Yep. That's exactly.
Sorry.
Isaiah, Psalm 64 and verse 1. Hear my voice, O Yahweh, and my prayer. Preserve me so I can preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Yeah, that's these elites, these Edomite elites, all right? Go ahead.
Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Right. Who's the perfect? We're the perfect. The Israelites, starting with the elect. Okay, go ahead.
Suddenly did they shoot at him, and fear not.
And this one guy I work with, he said, oh, the man with no vices. He looked at me and said I was a man with no. I was like, bro, I have vices. But then when I looked at, I was kind of like, yo, what are you talking about, bro? But then when I looked at what the word vices means, it actually means like evil. I said, oh wow, that's heavy. I recently looked, I said, well, that's evil. I was like, well, that's heavy that you said that. You know, because vice really like the way they break it down, it's like it's an addiction to something, like you know something that you're kind of like addicted to, so to speak. You know what I mean? Right. That you're drawn to. You know,
this
like a habit.
It says the election will follow God.
Yeah, right.
Deception.
Right. I was gonna say, well, indeed, we're addicted to righteousness. You know, we're addicted, to the scriptures, to following the right way. So in a sense, yeah, but vice actually means evil. It actually means to well, look it up, bro. Look it up real quick. My phone's up there. Making excuses because of cold. It didn't last.
Verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Hold the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep.
Yeah, they're deep. They think deep on wickedness. Right? These devils there's nothing good in them. They have no good in them. They're just wicked. These naive people, everyone has some good. No, that's not true. No, that's not true at all. These devils, these Edomites, they got no good in them. None.
I got the meaning.
You got it? Well, read it out, bro.
Vice. Immoral or wicked behavior.
Right. Immoral or wicked behavior. You see what I'm
immoral, saying? And also another one, immoral or wicked personal characteristic.
Right. Which we all got some of that in us anyway, right? We all got some of us. But compared to them, right, we're like perfect.
We fight against it.
Yeah.
The definition of evil says profoundly immoral and wicked. Profound immorality and wickedness, especially when regarded as supernatural force.
That's it. All right. So we shun that. Okay, we despise that. A little bit more on that? Okay, go ahead.
Pertaining to how the brother mentioned Egypt, it says here in Exodus 7 and 10, and Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded, and Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called his wise men and sorcerers, now the magicians of Egypt. They also did in like manner with their enchantments. For they had cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents, but Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods.
Right, yeah, because the right hand side is stronger than the left hand side. Point blank period, right? And they're gonna find that out in the times to come. Right? We can't wait to show the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Lord, you know about that number.
Next chapter, Exodus 8 and 16. And the Lord said unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch out thy rod, and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And they did so, and Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod, and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in men, and in beasts, and all the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beasts. Then the magician said unto Pharaoh, this is the finger of the Most High. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hardened not, and he hearkened not unto them as the Lord has said.
They're gonna know how we're not gonna be touched by anything. They're gonna know that's the finger of the Most High too, right? The way the elect is not gonna be touched, they're gonna know that it's a supernatural thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, like the visions that I had, you know, that I go into from time to time. You know, it was showing of spiritual power. The people are gonna know. They're gonna notice it. You know. So, anyways, you got something else?
Boy, bro. This is Jeremiah 23 and verse 20. The anger of the Lord shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart, and the latter days he shall consider it perfectly.
That's it. Oh yeah, they're gonna consider it, right? They're gonna consider it, man. Oh, and it says, then shall they know who are my chosen. Yeah. It's not gonna be a question. And you other camps that are not teaching the right doctrines and just doing what you're, and these camps that are just like these, the apostles call these upstarts, they don't want to be under anyone, they just want to do their own thing. They're lost. They have they're very on a low level, okay? Like Sakari's not because they branched off a great millstone, right? But these other camps that just came into it, which even them they go off a lot, you know. But these other camps, you know, it's like, yo, bro, you'd be surprised, man. That guy, I don't know if you guys watched the video, the Apostle Art, but that dude, that guy from, what was he from? I don't remember what. Yeah, for stuff. No, not that guy. Yeah, he's a bug out there. But I'm talking about another guy from another camp was doing a debate with Sakari, right? And they had the comment. First of all, the LOTB, he was lost. But then when he asked him about the lake of fire, the guy said, yeah, I don't know. He asked him where that is. He's like, I don't know. I don't know where that's at. I don't know if it's American. I don't know. He said, I don't know if it's forever. I don't know. It might be forever. Me personally, I think it's forever. Oh. So this guy don't know what's going on. You're not equipped to be a teacher. Right? When you ought to be teachers, you need that one teacher. Then you got to come under order, man.
That's right.
Be the first oracles, man. That's the first principles, man. First oracles and principles of the Most High, something like that. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to do. And the apostles on down, that's the door. Okay, so go ahead. That's the door. The apostles on down, that's the door. Okay. Anyways, Slakia, who's reading?
Isaiah 3 and 11. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. Verse 10. Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings.
That's it. All right, so with that, we're going to close up. We're going to give all praises, glory, and honor
to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rachak.
All right? Double honors for the apostle and others of the great millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to Rakim out there, pushing this word out, truth and sincerity. Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, 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 Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, 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 Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Shalom, Yahweh Shai coming back.